Today, I want to talk to you about ambience. What is ambience? Well, it's background noise. In fact, there's ambience going right now. And now there's not. And if you're doing audio for a cartoon or something like that, ambience can punch up your sound design, but it can also kind of ruin it if you use it wrong. And I'm going to show you how to thread the needle. So for an example, I've got this evil little cartoon called Ointman, which is on Wrath Club, my main YouTube channel. I would say watch it first, but we're just going to do that right now because if you haven't seen the cartoon, it would just ruin it and make no sense. And if you have seen the cartoon, you probably weren't paying attention to the ambience. That's kind of the point, but your brain picked up on it. So maybe pay attention to it this time, see if you notice anything. Also, we're working with extremely subtle sound effects here, so headphones. If you got them, use them. And like after that, I just had this discolored spot on my arm, just never went away.
I don't know, you could try rubbing some ointment on it or something?
Did somebody say ointment?
It's Ointman!
I hear there's a special little guy in need of some ointment. Is it you?
Yeah!
Wow, okay.
How about you, citizen?
No, I'm good.
Suit yourself. Ointman away!
Dude, please take some of this. He gave me way too much.
I mean, I don't really need it. I'd probably just let it go bad.
Does ointment go bad?
You're gonna find out, I guess.
Oh, God. So I'm not going to do a full audio breakdown for this like I do on some of my other cartoons. It's pretty much just laying sound effects. But what I did with the ambience here is kind of interesting. So first thing I did was like, okay, they're in an alley next to like an air conditioning unit and they never move. Let's try to find ambience that sounds like that. And I found this ambience. And when I found this, I was like, perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'll slap it over the whole cartoon. Problem solved. We're ready to go. Right? But it just kind of made the whole thing feel, I don't know, off. It all just kind of blended together. And honestly, putting it in there made the cartoon feel worse than when there was nothing in there at all. Especially in the more high-impact moments. It just made the vibes weird.
It's Ointman!
I hear there's a special little guy in need of some ointment. Is it you?
So what I did is I got some other ambience, this kind of like sunny day, windy ambience. And my rule was, when it's a shot on the guys in the alley, I was going to use sort of the alleyway ambience. But when it was a shot of Ointman, I'd switch over to kind of the windy ambience. And doing that made the whole thing ebb and flow much better. You can watch this cartoon with all the sound effects cut out, except for the ambience, and it still kind of has a vibe. We're going to do a bit of that right now, and you'll see what I mean. So this is not a sound effect. This is actually part of the ambience that I just picked out that sounded good. Which, that's another tip. Don't just slap the ambience in there all willy-nilly. Take that sound file, move it around, and see if you can find a part of it that kind of sort of matches what's going on screen. This is maybe not the best example because I did kind of turn it up a little bit because it worked so well as a sound, but you get the idea. Also, I broke my own rule here a little bit. I had wind ambience, and then as he kind of dropped in, I had it transfer over, cross-faded into the alleyway ambience. Anyway, this part coming up, you'll really see what I'm talking about. Again, sometimes I choose to crossfade, sometimes I don't. I didn't crossfade here, where Ointman horks up the ointment, because it made it sound funnier. But that's kind of what I want to get across here is it's creative choices. It's what's going to benefit the video the most. And it doesn't necessarily have to be realistic. And we'll get to that in a sec. So here, I actually kind of played both at the same time because it was a shot of everybody. They're kind of both lower volume to compensate. That was another place. That is not a sound effect. That is just the ambience. And again, this is another point where I didn't stick hard and fast to my own rule because Ointman's going away. So I kind of drew attention to the wind ambience and had it actually fade completely out for this final little awkward exchange between the dudes. And it's just completely silent there. That can be an effect. You don't need ambience in something. And I will actually drop out the ambience either as sort of a pause for laughs or sometimes to draw as much attention to a single piece of dialogue as possible, or just if the vibe is funnier or better without ambience, you just don't put it in. Even though it's less realistic, quote unquote. Sometimes you don't need it. Whatever the story of the video being told is, make the ambience work for that. Don't put ambience in something just because you feel it has to be there. Anyway, hope that was helpful. If you want more cartoons, check out Wrath Club on YouTube. And if you like videos like this, subscribe to Sounds Goodish. I do videos when I have time about music and audio and guitar and gear and stuff. And maybe one day I'll figure out how to end them, but this is not that day.